Andy and Dave Daly right here on the Muskegon channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. There's Dave Cackley. I had what could be the best idea in the history of great ideas last night, and I'm going to run it by
Okay.
you.
All right.
Um,
Okay. I'm gonna before you do, let me say right now, I already assume you've oversold this, but go
no,
ahead.
no. I think as we're hot off the heels of the Irish Fest this year,
Mm-hmm.
I thought last night that we could add an element to the Irish Fest for next year that would be really, really awesome, on point. In fact,
Okay.
I would call it on fleek with the theme, the content of the festival, the fun that could be had, and all that other stuff. I think I'm going to put on a one man show. I'm going to call it Andy O'Reilly, Aaron of the Grievances, and I'm just going to get there on stage and bitch for an hour. And I mean, everybody I'm pissed off at, everybody I'm sick
Okay.
of, and,
Mm-hmm.
and and the fun of it will be, we'll either spell Aaron as Aaron or Erin for Irish. Aaron of the Grievances.
Aaron of the grievances.
It'll be a one
Okay.
man show.
Okay.
I'll name names. I'll give it to everybody I've got it out against with both barrels.
Okay.
I'll let the language be flowery. I'll speak as an
Mm-hmm.
Irishman. And at the end of it, I'll leave it at that.
I
Boom.
don't think that's a bad. I honestly don't think that's a bad idea. But the only thing I'd say is you pretty much already do that on Facebook.
Well, yeah.
You do that all the time.
But
So it's
I
one of
would do it
those.
unfiltered in person. I would. I would.
You don't seem very unfiltered. You don't seem very filtered on Facebook, really.
No.
I don't think so. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe you're holding some things back. I
Some
mean,
things I hold
like,
back.
oh,
I
Andy's
do.
got issues out with this thing. Okay.
So I'm thinking of it. Do I go with
Mhm.
Aaron or Erin? I think Aaron. Erin.
That's the feminine.
Well, not
If you're trying to
necessarily
get in touch with your
in Gaelic, because like Aaron go
that's
bra,
still,
E
yeah.
R
But
I N.
but for the American populace, for the local community, they
Yeah, but
look
it's
at
the
Aaron,
Irish Fest. We don't
Erin.
want to.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter though.
Yeah, see,
You don't
that's
want to
where.
confuse. Yeah, because look, I'm 25% Irish, so I'm down. I'm down with the drunken mix, just like the next guy.
Right.
But yeah, that's the way I view. And that's again, I got a hefty Irish bloodline.
Aaron
So
O the grievances. Aaron Erino the grievances. Aaron of the grievances. Yes.
I like
I think it's not
Aaron Aaron apostrophe the grievances,
okay. Well, it's a thought.
or just grievances, apostrophe
No,
grievances.
you got to
Not
have the
again, not
Aaron in there
it's got to be more
because you're
fleshed
airing
out.
them.
Yes, yeah, but if you go Erin, it's
Yeah.
not. First of all, you feminized it and it doesn't the doesn't work for the air part. It just doesn't.
All right. To be continued. We'll have to. We'll
But
have
I
to.
like, but I this
You know
isn't
what
a
we're gonna
bad
have to
idea.
do? We're gonna have to vacillate on this one.
Yes, you got to flush it. You got to flush it out more.
That's what we gotta do. We're gonna vacillate.
There you go.
So that's what we're gonna do.
I like. Yeah, good hand gestures. Solid. See, you know what? I would say you didn't really oversell that. So kudos,
Well,
because it's not a bad idea.
sometimes a genius's mind works at night, and I have to save things
There
for
you
the
go.
morning.
Do you write shit down, or do you
I
say
did.
I should write that down, and then you don't write it down and completely forget about that?
I
I do
wrote it
it all
down
the
this
time.
time. Yeah,
Good for you.
because if I don't write it
All
down,
right.
I do completely forget.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
I even wrote down cat with a balloon on its ass for yesterday's
Jesus
talk
Christ.
about AFE. Yeah, hairless cat with a balloon on its ass. It was funny.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing, hysterical. I can't think of anything more funny than that.
Well,
Seriously.
well,
Wow.
it's funny.
It's yes. Laugh out loud. LOLs across the board. Capitalized LOLs, not your just lowercase LOLs.
I know.
Capitalized.
That's why I'm there.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's get into it. The Department of Homeland Security is declaring war on drugs. Sure, this is going to work out well. The DHS rolled out what it's calling a comprehensive guide to combating illegal opioids from coming into the country. Strategies include reducing the international supply, not going to happen, attacking enablers of drug trafficking, too vague, and working with the private sector to better stop drugs from getting into the US. They want drugs in the US, so that's not going to happen. Okay, none of this is going to work, obviously. Well intentioned, maybe, but did we learn nothing from the 80s? Did we learn nothing? And it
Nothing.
doesn't matter what side, like the Republicans tried to do this in the 80s, it blows up in their face. It creates a bigger
No,
problem.
you got to go
Democrats did
back
the same
farther
thing.
because the Republicans
Well, yeah,
started
but
this
no,
with Nixon.
well, no, no,
Nixon
no,
started it.
that was okay. This is what you forget. Yes, they did. I said this. That's what I said. But it was in its heyday in the 80s. The war on drugs really peaked in the 80s
Yeah.
under Republican leadership. Now they're trying to revisit this under Democratic leadership, and you're going to have the same thing blow up in your face. Now, the interesting thing, you had you had black leaders actually coming to Nixon wanting harsher drug sentencing because that is 100% the case.
Yeah.
You had mayors, you had city leaders, you had state reps come to them and say, we've got problems in these cities. We need harsher drug laws, and that's just not how you combat
No.
uh, this particular crime. Not to mention the fact, especially if you're talking about opioids and illicit drugs, we got a wide open border. That's where most of the drugs are seized, are at the border, and you've also got cartels running this thing, and you're not stopping it. So this is going to be a fruitless attempt. You make it. You roll out a statement like this. We're trying to do something. We're trying. It's not going to work, and you know it's not going to work. You just want plaudits for putting up the effort, and
Well,
I'm not giving it.
I'll tell you what. If you want to get knuckling down on drug trafficking and all that kind of stuff, start with and you know this is a problem. Start with the people that will get a prescription for this stuff,
Oh, bingo.
and then give it to friends, and
Mm-hmm.
or enable relatives.
Mm-hmm.
That's another
Yeah,
thing that goes on quite a bit.
100%.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Um, before they balanced out all my stuff with my foot, I was a grifter. For
Mm-hmm.
hey, mom, got a couple extra Vicodin, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But now they use all these antidepressants and nerve pills for my foot, and I'm thankful. But just start around home. Find out
Not
who's giving out the extras, and yeah, it's terrible. It's a mess. I
not
watched the show
not
last
to
night. Hang, let me finish the thought.
good.
I watched the show last night on like mescaline and acid and what else was in there? Shrooms and all that kind of stuff. They were talking
Mhm.
about can hallucinogenics heal,
Yeah.
and dude, I'm gonna tell you what, they make a pretty freaking strong argument for a
Yeah.
supervised session with
Mhm.
with mushrooms, with a counselor and a prescribed
Yeah.
dose and all this kind of
Mhm.
stuff. And they walk you right into the brain. They say, you know what,
Yeah.
alcohol kills these brain connections, whereas these other
Mhm.
ones allow them to expand.
Yeah.
And it
It,
may
it-
I I kind of walked away a little sold on the idea.
yeah, I've had that exact same because I've heard about this for the last few years. The idea of some of these hallucinogenics helping people who do have brain disorders or maybe or especially like end of life care. It
PTSD.
really PTSD, a lot of this stuff. But going back to the whole opioid, it's just it's so hypocritical because I mean, think about it. We're one of there are two countries, I believe it's us and Australia, that allow drug advertising on media.
Yep.
We're one of two because we're all addicts. Everybody's got something, and it's insane. It's like every other newscast is brought to you by Pfizer.
Oh yeah.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And again, they do make things sometimes that actually do work.
Yep.
But a lot of the times you got doctors pushing the stuff. We got we talk about all the distrust we have across the board, and it has seeped. Obviously, it's always been there with the pharmaceutical industry, and it's seeped into the medical industry, and it's just you just don't know who to trust on anything. And then again, this drug war is
It's
just
greed.
a part of it. Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's greed.
100%. Absolutely. Moving on. I loved it. I do love this story. You can think I don't, but I do love this.
Okay.
Professional letter turner Vanna White will continue performing the easiest job in the history of entertainment for another 2 years. White reached a deal with Wheel of Fortune on a contract extension through 2025-2026. Pat Sajak, of course, retiring next year with Ryan Seacrest taking over. The 66-year-old reportedly getting a, quote, substantial increase from her $3 million a year salary. Now, again, I don't begrudge anybody. Good for Vanna White. Good for Vanna White. Again, nobody. She's got the dream job in entertainment. You do nothing. You are just there. You don't even have to turn the light. You're pushing a button in that thing. You are completely irrelevant. And you get to make $3 million a year. Not only that, it's probably gonna be what, 5-6 million, maybe? They just said substantial. They didn't say what it was.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not crapping on Vanna White. Good for her. Who greenlights this shit? Who's like, you know what we need? We need America. Really, first of all, nobody cares about these shows pretty much anymore anyway. Okay, you got some people watching, but that audience for the most part's dying off. So the fact that she was making that much is kind of insane. But again, good for her. I applaud her and wish her nothing but the best. Continued success.
I'll tell you this. I will say that Vanna White has earned every penny she can get, especially for these last couple of years. Because listen to me, hear me out.
Go ahead.
There's longevity.
Mm-hmm.
There's longevity there. She's been there a long time. She could make moves. She could continue to write books.
What else
Let me finish.
She do?
Loyalty should pay, right?
It all depends on what your job is.
Right.
What is your job?
And ratings for Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, I'm looking it up right here.
Mm-hmm.
They're among the most watched television programs there are. 9 million viewers a night. So if you look at Vanna White doing this thing for 40 years, or somebody that comes along and makes $1 million an episode for 5, I think it kind of balances out when it comes to income. I think she deserves get 9 million viewers a night, dude.
She deserves it.
Pay her more.
No, she doesn't deserve it. She gets paid that, and good for her. She doesn't deserve it. She hasn't really earned it. She doesn't do anything.
You hate Vanna White.
Okay,
I get it.
I'm not hating her. This is not a hate Vanna White thing. I like Vanna White. I don't know why. She doesn't really do anything. She doesn't say anything other than, oh, Pat, or I don't recall a single thing. Do you have a quote from Vanna White anywhere over the last 40 years of her TV career?
Would you like
that
one?
You remember? Remember one? Okay, go. No, okay, you can't look it up.
Well, I have to look it up.
So you're cheating right now because you don't know.
I don't.
Because you can't pull anything out and go, oh, yeah, she said this provocative thing or interesting thing.
I don't need that.
Sexy thing. I don't look, again, good for her. Bad on whoever is running Wheel of Fortune saying, we need to get, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It doesn't add anything anymore. But again, I don't begrudge anybody for making that. But for you to say she's earned it and deserves it is more than a bit much. Let's be honest.
Keep girls in their place. I get it.
No, not at all. If she was hosting the show, okay, that's different.
She is. She's a co-host.
She doesn't say anything.
Okay.
If we say co-host, we're saying co-host in the loosest possible definition. Let's just be honest. Okay.
No sour grapes with
Michigan. No sour grapes at all. Okay. I seriously. I'm where I am on the economic socioeconomic ladder. She's where she is. God bless.
There you go.
Okay. No problem. A Michigan auto supplier is laying off hundreds of employees. Nearly 300 will lose their jobs as factories in Lapeer and Shiawassee counties. This is the result of the United Auto Workers strike. Workers, of course, hit the picket line as their contracts expired last week. And hopefully there is a quick resolution to this. I don't know what that's going to be, but a lot of people who you could make an argument deserve more.
Yep.
Are going to be it's going to be tough sledding because they ain't making $300 or $3 million to turn a letter that can be done automatically. Sports. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win. They hammer Pittsburgh 14-1. Tigers lose again. Shocker. 3-2 to the Dodgers. Interesting thing about the Tigers though this season: 38-38 on the road. They suck at home. They managed to be mediocre on the road. Baseball, yeah, home field advantage means nothing in baseball, evidently. That's sports.
Okay. All right. Well, it's time for Jeopardy. It's 1,000 today, so you could take all your gains and crap them right out today. It's been a good week for you so far.
What's the category?
Hey, don't rush me.
Oh, sorry.
Take some time. I'm setting the pace right now. Here's me driving the bus. Okay. Take a breath. I know you're all wound up from Vanna White making money.
It's okay.
Can't have that. I get it. Quotable notables for 1,000.
Maybe if she baked cookies too. Okay, sorry.
Perfect. God.
Vanna White's cookies.
Quotable notables for 1,000. This French microbiologist said, "Chance favors only the prepared mind."
I don't know a lot of French people.
Well,
I mean, which is ironic because Max is half French.
See?
So
Vanna White would know this.
No, she wouldn't.
Yeah, she would.
No, she would. She could turn the letter if you guessed the correct vowel.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And she could do this.
I'm just saying.
Boop. She doesn't even have to walk. She doesn't even have to walk, and there's no motion required in her job anymore.
You haven't watched Wheel of Fortune forever. She still walks.
Oh yeah,
she's still got a lovely slit up her dress, and you can see the leg peek out every now and again. So, it's like, hey.
Yeah. And the plastic surgery has been great. Okay, I'll give her that. Are you shitting me?
You got me an answer for Jeopardy or what?
No, I don't. I'm just stalling here because I got nothing.
Of course, yeah. Louis Pasteur.
Pasteur.
Yeah, how many other French microbiologists have there been?
That's all I would. Louis Pasteur.
Yeah,
I called him Louis. I got lost in the Louis.
Sometimes it happens.
And yeah. All right.
Have a great day.
You too.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Happy Wednesday, Muskegon. A few isolated showers are possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll be dry over the next several days. So let's take a look at your forecast, brought to you by Trinity Health. Your weather headlines show we will have isolated showers to contend with, like I said, but really they'll be few and far between, so we're not expecting it to impact your morning that much. And then after that, 80s will return finally for Thursday, which should stick around until next Sunday, and will be dry, thankfully, going into the weekend. Now, the future radar does show some isolated showers, like I said, but they will be few and far between, like I mentioned, so we're not expecting it to impact your day that much, and they'll likely be out of here by 10 a.m. or so. And due to the showers and the clouds hanging around, highs today won't get into the 80s. They'll stay in the low to mid 70s, though, so still not too bad temperature-wise throughout the day today. So for Wednesday, expect a high of 73 with mostly cloudy skies, especially during the morning, with a few isolated showers, but they really won't impact your day all that much. And then going into the afternoon and evening, we'll start to clear out a little bit, continuing into the overnight hours with a low of 60. And then we'll likely be dry Thursday through next Monday, with mostly cloudy skies at times, with some mostly sunny skies at times, especially on Saturday. Highs for the most part will be right around 80 through Sunday, until we cool back down into the 70s early next week. And that's your Wednesday forecast, brought to you by Trinity Health on the Muskegon channel. And I'm Cole Woods Weather, and have a wonderful Wednesday.